Concealer from Marc Jacobs. Now I know that today is Foundation Friday and I will be uploading my review of my new foundation tomorrow for Foundation Friday, but I had to extend it an extra day because I just got done reviewing the new foundation from Natasha Denona, the Foundation X Plus, because typically you guys know that I like to test out my foundations for 3 days. So because of that, I had to extend it, and I promise my review of my new foundation will be up tomorrow. I just want to let you guys know that I am reviewing a new foundation this week, but I did have to extend it an extra day. So let's get into what I am reviewing today. This is the new concealer from Marc Jacobs. This is called the Accomplice Concealer and Touch-Up Stick. This retails for $32 and it is available on the Sephora website. This comes in 17 different shades and I chose the shade Medium 33. It's a long-wearing creamy concealer and touch-up stick, perfect for on the go in a range of 17 full coverage shades. The Accomplice Concealer and Touch-Up Stick covers and blends seamlessly for skin that looks totally natural. It layers beautifully under or over makeup, blurring the look of pores, fine lines, and imperfections while hiding dark circles, blemishes, and uneven skin tone. So I actually wore this as a concealer in this video because I've been testing out a new foundation. Based on the way I've worn this, I do agree that this would probably be really pretty over pores. So maybe you put this on before you go in with your foundation and kind of put it in the pores area, because it does lay really pretty over wrinkles, over pores, and stuff like that. So, and it's full coverage. So if you want to use this as a spot treatment, you totally could. The only other concealer that I have in the stick form is this one from Hourglass. And this is the Hidden Corrective Concealer. And I keep this in my purse at all times. This is something that I like to use on the go. You know, like when you're on the go and you have your sunglasses on and you get those little like sunglasses divots right here on your nose. I will take like my pinky finger or my ring finger and I'll just go over it with that. It works great. I don't typically like this concealer on its own. Kind of has that waxy type formula to it, so it's not my favorite to wear just as concealer, but I do love this as a touch-up. So that's why I was curious about this one, because I do love having that touch-up option where it's this type of form, but I was like, okay, well, how's this gonna look as concealer? Now, I have been playing around with this bad boy. This is the YSL the Touche Éclat High Cover Radiant Concealer. You guys, I am 3 shades deep in this, okay? You guys have probably been hearing me talk about a new concealer I've been testing. It's been this one. I've been working with this bugger for 2 weeks. I had to take a break from that one. When I seen this one launched, I was like, okay, this one's gonna be so much easier because I'm still trying to figure out how to use this. That video will be coming up soon. I've struggled with that concealer. It's really been hard. So I actually test this 2 different days in this review. The first day I wore it on its own. I did like a midday check-in and then I did like a 12-hour check-in. And then today I'm actually testing it next to my favorite concealer, because I do feel like when you're testing out a new concealer, the best way to test it is to compare it next to your favorite. My favorite concealer is the Tarte Creaseless, and it's not because it's a creaseless concealer, but it gives the illusion of just that creaseless look underneath the eye. So I went ahead and tested it next to this one. So today I have on the Tarte Creaseless Concealer and the Marc Jacobs. The packaging on this, you guys, I'm not a fan of, and I talk about that throughout the video. You have the stick and you can screw it up in and screw it back down. I recommend when you're using this to screw it back down, because this is kind of hard to get off. And if it's sitting like this and you put it in and then you go to pull it off, I was nicking the edges of it. Like, I was nicking this and I didn't really like that. Before I move on to the application, I wanted to show you guys what this shade looks like next to some of the concealers that I have here in my collection. Okay, so this one right here is the Medium 33 from Marc Jacobs, just so you guys can see what that shade looks like. This one over here on the end, this one is from Collab Beauty. That one is in the shade Honey Beige. This one is the Tarte Creaseless Concealer. That one is in shade Medium 33. Then this one right here is the Makeup Forever HD in the shade 30. This one right here is the Cover FX Power Play Concealer in the shade Medium 1 Neutral. So that's what that one looks like, again, next to that. And I would say that's a pretty close match. This one's maybe just a little bit more on the pink side. This one right here is the Magic Away Concealer from Charlotte Tilbury. That one is in the shade number 6. This one right here is the new Giorgio Armani concealer in the shade 4. That's a pretty close match to this one from Marc Jacobs. This one right here is the Becca Aqua Luminous Perfecting Concealer. That one is in the shade Beige. And then this one right here is the Too Faced Born This Way concealer in the shade Light Beige. Just in case you have any of those concealers in those shades, I wanted you guys to compare and see what those shades look like. This one is described as medium with yellow undertones, and I kind of feel like it's not yellow undertones. This one feels more like a pink undertone almost. And for those of you guys that want to know what shades I wear in certain foundations, I will leave a full list in the description box down below of the shades that I wear in foundations, just so that you can use that as a reference as I'm reviewing this concealer. Without further ado, let's jump right into the application. I will come back and do some check-ins, and then we're gonna, compare it to my favorite concealer, and I will give you guys my final thoughts in the end. So I will see you guys then. So this is what it looks like. It's this nice little tube, and oh, it's kind of hard to get off. And when I have to pull it, I kind of like dig it. I don't feel like this is a concealer that you're gonna want to like put a lot of on, because it kind of has that waxy type feeling. Reminds me of the one that I have from Hourglass. I'm gonna put it on this eye and kind of blend it out with my finger, maybe smooth it out with a sponge. Then on this eye, I might apply it with a brush. So let's put a little bit of this on. Just like that, just a little bit. And I'm gonna kind of melt this into my skin with my finger. Sometimes I've noticed with the one that I have from Hourglass, that's like this in the stick form, when I blend it into my under eyes with my finger, I get the best results. So I'm just gonna kind of like melt that in. Well, that doesn't look too bad, does it? That doesn't look thick, it doesn't look heavy, doesn't look cakey. Like, this looks really nice. At first impressions, I like it. So I'm gonna put some on this side. I wish, the thing that I do wish is I wish this wasn't round. And the reason why I say that is because I wish it was like this. This one is the one from Hourglass. And this one, like, you can really get up in there because of the way it's shaped. This one being round, it's kind of, as you can see, I'm like missing right there. Now don't get me wrong, some people don't go all the way up in, but other than that, that's probably the only negative I'm seeing so far. All right, so I'm gonna take the end of this brush. This is the IT Cosmetics Heavenly Luxe number 7 brush. And I'm gonna just blend this out with this concealer portion of the brush. Dang, this is a nice concealer. I really hope it lasts good because I like the way this feels. It feels very lightweight, and I feel like it almost hides my wrinkles. Like, I feel like it's full coverage. It looks really good over wrinkles. It blends and melts into the skin good. But you guys, this is a form of concealer that your finger is your best friend. I don't know that I would recommend going in with a sponge, because I feel like this waxy type formula, when you go in with a sponge, it really picks it up. But going in with the finger and kind of blending it into the skin, that's my opinion, but I feel like that's the best way to apply this. But this looks really nice. I feel like the shade's good. It doesn't feel really cakey. Again, a little bit of this goes a really long way. This feels like a formula I feel like would go over and spot treat very well. So I wanted to pull you guys closer so you guys could see what this looks like on my under eye right now, but I feel like it looks pretty good. I mean, it's full coverage. I feel like it really blends into those wrinkles nicely. You guys, I've been testing and playing with quite a few concealers lately. This one giving me the most fits, which I'm gonna get into that one. This is the YSL Touche Éclat High Cover. This one, I feel like just really melts into the skin, feels hydrating. I don't feel like my under eyes are dried out. And I like this over my wrinkles so far. But because of the waxy base to it. I'm curious how this will last. As you guys know, I do not set my concealer. I am still working on trying to find the best way to set a concealer, but right now I'm not gonna set this concealer. I'm just gonna put it on and leave it. So right now it is currently 9:40 a.m. and so I am going to wear this pretty much all day. I'll probably come back between 3 and 4 o'clock and do like a midday check-in, and then I'll come back later on this evening to show you guys how it looks. I will see you guys in my first check-in. Okay, so I'm back for a midday check-in on the concealer, and I've been filming another video, and I did have to wipe off my concealer and reapply it. So it's probably been, that was probably maybe an hour after I applied it the first time here on camera with you guys. So currently it is 5:30. So I've had it on for about 6.5 hours now. I would say this is probably my halfway point because I think I will be wearing this for 12 hours today. Now that I've got the rest of my makeup on and I've got the eyeshadow on and stuff, I do feel like this is a little bit too light for me. I mean, you can kind of see my under eyes are pretty light under there, which I don't love. I think I need a little bit darker of a shade, especially with summer coming. I do like the way it looks so far. As far as, don't feel like my under eyes are dried out. I feel like I've got a nice hydration and going on underneath there. And yes, it's creasy, but not bad. It's such a soft formula that if you get any creasing, it's not like it sets down and you can't move it. So if you do get a little bit of creasing, you can just kind of go up there with your finger and kind of tap it out and be fine. So so far I really like this. I mean, I've only worn it for a few hours, but so far I really like the way this looks. Okay, so I went ahead and pulled you guys in so you guys could see what this looks like. Again, the shade is not my favorite. It's definitely a little bit too light for me. I think it's the undertone. It's not really the shade, it's the undertone. So let's go ahead and turn the ring light off. Natural lighting, it looks really good. So all I have is I'm just sitting in front of my window. It is 5:30, so you know, I don't have any direct sunlight. I'm in front of a window well anyway, so I don't have like direct sunlight, but I do have the window open and I have my umbrella light sitting in the corner. But so far, I really like this concealer, you guys. And I really hope, I mean, look how good it looks over my wrinkles. Like, I don't even feel like I have wrinkles under there with this on. There's something just beautiful about this concealer. And it just, because it's not wet, it's kind of just a creamy, waxy formula. It just goes over those wrinkles and just kind of like melts into your skin. This might be a new favorite. If it lasts 8 to 10 hours, this might be my new favorite concealer because I am really loving the way this looks. I really love the way this looks. If I had to give you guys my opinion on this right now, on a scale from 1 to 5, I would give this a hard 5 right now. 6 hours in, I'm loving this. So fingers crossed, I will come back tonight and pop on here and show you guys how this is wearing. And then I will come back tomorrow and we'll compare it to my favorite concealer. And then I will give you guys my full final thoughts after that. So I will see you guys then. Okay, so I am back after wearing this all day long. It is 11 o'clock. So I've officially had it on for 12 hours. And you guys, I like this concealer. I am so impressed with this concealer. It's been a while since I have found a concealer that I have liked this much. It just really looks beautiful, and it's very soft under the eye. It's very hydrating. Like, when I look at my under eye, I don't feel like it's crusty. I don't feel like it builds up in like certain areas. Now, don't get me wrong. It's been on for 12 hours. My foundation's looking ragged. I'm looking ragged. What am I talking about? But this looks really decent for 12 hours. I just have liked the way that my wrinkles have looked all day under my eyes. And so I'm so curious to see how this is gonna wear next to my Creaseless concealer tomorrow. This is such a soft formula. And you know what? Even though it comes across, I don't know if it's coming across the camera, I gotta look at the footage, but in the monitor, I felt like my under eyes are whiter than the rest of my face, and maybe that is the case. But in real life, like, I was looking, you know, I had to take my daughter to town earlier today, and I was looking in there like, you know how the car mirror, like your visor mirror, is like the death of all mirrors, like it tells you the truth. I didn't feel like it was a bad shade. So it could be that it just comes across camera weird, but in the sunlight, in the daylight and stuff, it doesn't look like it's a bad shade. I like this concealer. Like, I really, really like this. I am really, really liking this concealer. I can't believe I like it because normally I don't like formulas like this. This one, on the other hand, I am so shocked. I love it so much so far. Okay, so, I mean, this is 12 hours later. It looks so good. So good, you guys. I am so impressed with the way this is worn, and it just looks so natural. I think that's the thing that I really like about it as well, is that when I put it on, I don't feel like I have like all that liquid concealer on. It just goes on, and it kind of just goes around all those wrinkles, and it's just amazing on those wrinkles. I'm so impressed. That's what I like about it the most, is how it looks over my wrinkles. So for those of you out there who have more wrinkles under your eyes, this might be one that you need to pick up, because this has just looked so beautiful on my wrinkles, and it's full coverage, and I feel like the coverage has lasted. I mean, of course, it doesn't look like it did when I first applied it, or maybe during the midday check-in, but this looks pretty damn good. My concealer is holding up better than my foundation, so I am impressed so far. Okay, so let's turn the ring light off. As you can see, it still looks really good. It looks natural. Of course, I don't have the coverage, but like, I love the way my wrinkles look with this because it doesn't dramatize my wrinkles. Oh my gosh, I love it so much, you guys. The way this is going, I don't want to get my hopes up, but the way this is going, this might be my new favorite concealer because this is blowing my mind. I love it so freaking much. I love it. Oh my gosh, I love it. I just love this. I love it so much. Oh my gosh, I'm getting like stupid giddy. I need to go get in the bath. So that's it for this check-in. I will see you guys tomorrow morning when I apply this next to my Tarte Creaseless, because this is blowing my freaking mind right now. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking. I will see you guys in tomorrow's application. Okay, so day 2, I'm really excited to compare this concealer to my favorite concealer. So I'm gonna put some on my under eye. See how it just misses that corner because of the way it's shaped? It really wasn't very well thought out as far as that goes. But then my favorite way to apply it is with my finger. It just really melts into that under eye with a finger so nicely. I love this. I'm still trying to figure out how to use these damn things. You guys, I am 3 pens in. 3 pens in, you guys, of this high cover Tucha clot craziness from YSL. And I have been testing and playing with that stupid concealer for 2 weeks. And I was just exhausted with it. I had to take a break from it because it was driving me absolutely batshit crazy. When I seen this concealer pop up, I was like, okay, I need to switch gears and test this one out because that other one is driving me nuts. And look how beautiful that looks. Oh my gosh. Now I'm gonna go in with the Tarte Creaseless on this side. Put a little bit right here. I like to blend out my Tarte Creaseless with a sponge. And the thing about the Tarte Creaseless is it's really hydrating. Some people don't like it because they feel like it gets a little bit too wet, and I get it. I understand that. For me, it's wet for a couple of minutes and then it does set down on the skin, but it does keep my under eye nice and hydrated, and I love that about it. And as you can see, my wrinkles just kind of disappear with that concealer on. Because I don't set my under eye, it definitely creases more than it probably would on somebody that does set their under eye. Okay, so this is what it looks like up close. Again, this is the Marc Jacobs side, this is the Tarte side. I don't know how it's coming across on camera, like I'm looking in the monitor. This one definitely looks more creaseless look, but this one still looks really good. In the morning, it's 10:18 in the morning, so let's just say 10:30. So I'm gonna wear this for probably like 13 hours today. I do have a pretty busy day today. I will see you guys in my first check-in. Okay everyone, I am back for midday check-in. It is currently 4:30, so I've had it on for about 5.5, almost 6 hours. So let's go ahead and do some comparisons. Now so far it feels like this side is still looking a little bit better. And this side you can kind of see some of those wrinkles a little bit more. I just love how it looks on my under eyes, and I love how this is not a concealer that you need to set. So if you are somebody that doesn't like to set your concealer, I don't feel like this is one that you're gonna have to set. It just really looks beautiful and I like it. So far, I am still loving this. Okay, so I went ahead and zoomed you guys in so you guys could see how these concealers look so far. And again, this is the Marc Jacobs side. This is the Tarte Creaseless side. Now, I've not done any touch-ups or anything like that, and in fact, when I did my eyeshadow, I didn't have any fallout, so I didn't have to like wipe it off or anything like that. So that's it for this check-in. I am gonna go ahead and get off of here. I gotta go do a bunch of things. I gotta go driving with my daughter, say a little prayer for me. So I will see you guys in my final thoughts tonight. Okay, you guys, I am back for my final thoughts on this concealer. It is currently 11:15, and you guys, I really like this concealer. I really do. I am so glad it is worn so beautifully today. And full disclosure, I do have to mention this because I was watching back the footage because I've been editing half of the video. So I was watching the footage, and on this eye, which is the eye that I have the Tarte Creaseless Concealer on, this is the one with the Marc Jacobs. If you'll notice, when I applied the Marc Jacobs on both eyes, so right here I have an extra line that I don't have on this side. The Tarte Creaseless Concealer might look more creaseless because I don't have that extra line that I have on this eye. The thing that I like about this is that it's full coverage, but it's not a heavy coverage. So you get really good coverage with it and it lasts a really long time, but I don't feel like it's heavy under there. There's a lot of full coverage concealers that I've tried that are pretty for many hours, but as you continue to wear it, it'll start to kind of get thick and heavy. This one does not feel that way and does not look that way. This one looks beautiful over wrinkles. I've been saying that the entire video. It looks really beautiful over wrinkles. This is 100% worth the money. Now, I reviewed this Giorgio Armani concealer, and I like this concealer, but I did not feel that it was worth the money, and I still stand by that. I wore this the other day, and I just was like, ugh. I know everybody really likes it, and it has really good reviews on Sephora, so people are really liking this concealer. But for me, it really needed to be amazing like this one in order for me to justify the price, because this is such a pricey concealer. Kind of like the Magic Away. The Magic Away doesn't have a lot of product. I'm willing to pay the price if it's a great concealer. This one I felt like was a good concealer, but it wasn't great. This one, in my opinion, was worth like a $25 type concealer. Like, these are definitely worth the $32, $34. These are awesome, awesome concealers. You know, before I tried this concealer, Tarte Creaseless was my favorite, and you can see why. It still looks beautiful under my eye all this many hours later. With my Tarte Creaseless, I don't have to set it, and it still looks amazing. And with this one, you don't have to set it. So for those of you out there that don't like to set your under eye, this is amazing. And the thing is I would say the Tarte Creaseless Concealer is my #1 favorite. My #2 would probably be the Magic Away, and then #3, this one has completely blown my mind. This one is the Collab Beauty that you can buy from Sally's Beauty. It's like $12.99, and I love it. But I would say this one has kind of knocked these two, and now I would say that the Tarte Creaseless is probably still my #1 favorite, but this one is like #2. I am so excited to continue to wear this because this just looks so natural. Again, so my under eyes are 12 hours later. This is the Tarte Creaseless side, and this is the Marc Jacobs side, and they look amazing. They really do for being 12 hours. I mean, I am so impressed with it. Plus, I'm wearing my, I just got this. I just bought another tube of this. I've been out of it for a while. If you are somebody that cannot keep your mascara on your lower lash line from not going all over your eye, you need this. This is the Clinique lower lash mascara. It's like 12 bucks. Oh my gosh. Not only does it have the smaller brush on it, but for your lower lash line, it doesn't, like, your mascara doesn't move throughout the day. Like, it stays put. and you won't have any mascara like coming around the bottom. Like, I've been out of it for a while, and I should never go without it because I forgot just how amazing it is. So anyways, back to the concealer. This is a bomb concealer, and I'm really sorry that this review is really long, but you guys know I like to thoroughly review everything that I review, and this concealer is no exceptions, and it has my stamp of approval. It is bomb. On a scale from 1 to 5, I'm giving this concealer a 5. I think it's a hard 5. It's a good concealer. I feel like it is mature skin friendly. I feel like it's good for those who needs full coverage. It's not heavy. It's not cakey. It's not sticky. Like, this is a good concealer. And what I like about it too, and I think this is the thing I'm really gonna love about this, is you know how during the summer in the heat, if you wear like a liquid concealer, sometimes it can just like move around and be kind of messy underneath your eyes. I feel like this is gonna be the perfect summer concealer. And it's just one of those concealers that I feel like is creamy enough, but also not too creamy, so that it's not going to move around during the summer, during those humid days, or those days where you're out in the sun and you're really kind of starting to sweat. I feel like this is going to be a very forgiving concealer during the summer. So that's it for my review on this new concealer. Again, I'm sorry for the length of the video, but you guys know I am a thorough girl. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to come right back here tomorrow at 11 a.m. I'm going to be reviewing this foundation from Clinique, and I'm excited to share my thoughts on this foundation. So come right back here tomorrow, and I love you guys so much, and I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend filled with love and happiness. I will see you guys tomorrow, and I love you all so much. Bye. I'm still trying to figure out how to use this, and whoa, shit. Calm down there, silly Sally. I need to go get in the bathtub, like now. I need the bath. Stat. Like stat. And I survived my daughter's driving. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Merry Christmas. I'm going to be reviewing this foundation from Concealer. Wait, what am I talking about?